Okay, you guys, I've got another great interview with all of you. One of my favorite people. I'm not going to lie about that. Kaeli Ware, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. We were just talking about the last time we saw each other, which was at So You Think You Can Dance. Yeah, it was Academy Week. And I just happened to be at the same hotel that you guys were all sort of at, and you had just gotten eliminated.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Well, you know what's so funny though? I felt like I was more upset than you were. I was like, "Oh, Kaeli, I'm so sorry for," and you're like, "We're going In-N-Out Burger."
Yeah, I mean, I try not to get my hopes up, especially in those environments. Being a ballet dancer, I wasn't expecting much, so I was just happy that I made that far.
Yeah, actually, I thought you said something really great, and I still remember it to this day. You just was like, "I'm so proud of myself for making it through the hip hop round," which was the first round last year.
Yeah, I made it through hip hop and ballroom, which ballroom I had never done before, ever. And hip hop obviously is the complete opposite of ballet. So it was just, it was a little bit reassuring to me that even though I'm a ballet dancer, I still deserve to be there.
That's right. You were at the right table. You know, you deserved your place at the table, which I always think is good. And I think what a lot of people don't realize is that, and I've talked with Talia Favia on this, a lot of people went down in that particular round for contemporary. She gave a really hard routine.
It was so hard, especially I'm so tall and it's so hard for me to move so fast. But also I think they had listed me more of as a contemporary dancer, or like categorized me as a contemporary dancer when I said like contemporary ballet. So I think they were really expecting me to be super strong in that round, which I'm not a contemporary dancer and I never intended to be. I wanted to go there being a ballet dancer and show them that ballet dancers can do that too. So
That's right. And also a lot of contemporary dancers who that is their specialty. A lot of them went down in that round too. So again,
they definitely got
yeah,
a lot.
Talia did say, she was like, she's like, it was a brutal routine I gave. I'm like, yes, I watched it.
For the next week, like all up and down my arms and legs.
It's amazing. I just went back and watched your audition with Brandon again, Brandon Talbot. That's a really good audition. You have to be really proud of that.
Yeah, we were so proud, especially that dance was actually choreographed for when we did World of Dance the first time. So we were super bummed because we never got to show it. And so that was just kind of like our big moment, it felt like. And we were at the right place at the right time, and it felt like that was where we belonged. So
Yeah, and I just like I remember it, but then when I'm going back and watching it, you know, your perspective too, I'm like, this was a really strong audition. So, but I love that you mentioned World of Dance. Some people may know that you did season 1 of World of Dance and season 2 by yourself,
yeah.
but some people may not. So, you and Brandon were an act together on season 1 and kind of made it to one of those like little short montages that first season.
Yes.
What do you remember about working on World of Dance?
It was just such a crazy environment. You know, there were so many dancers that I just know from the internet, from social media, and just seeing them all come together in this one huge competition, it was literally the best of the best. And then the judges, of course, are just so overwhelming. It was just such a surreal experience.
Do you go back and like think about that? Because a lot of people who have worked on the show or who went back like for another season later on said there was nothing like that season 1 because it was so many huge names, brand new show, huge budget because they, you know, the budget's a lot smaller now. You were a part of dance history in many ways.
Yeah, it's really crazy to think about actually that, you know, it's turned into this crazy thing, and I was there for the first season. It was definitely, it was, I mean, there were a lot of big name people there, and I think everyone just for that first season was just coming with their best, with their strongest routines, and it was literally the best of the best. That's the only thing I can say. Like,
was there anyone you saw backstage when you first got there and go, oh, they're here?
yeah, I mean, I feel like it was that way with just everyone. Like, we had no idea actually who was going to be there and who wasn't because they had split us up kind of. So we didn't know actually exactly who we were competing against because they did it in like different groups. So just seeing them, like even at the hotel, we just saw them walking around, and like the twins that ended up winning season 1, like we just saw them walking around the hotel and we're like, oh my gosh, like, okay. Like, and they're like masters in this industry. So it was just, it was, even if they didn't show me, like, it was such a great experience just to be there, because I mean, who gets to do that? Who gets to do things like that?
I know. When I saw that cast list up for that first season, I remember thinking, oh, they have like twins on the show. Like, it's so crazy when you go back and look at that full cast list, but it's so cool that you had the ability to be a part of that.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about, because you and I met, I was trying to remember what year we met. Maybe 2015, maybe 16.
Yeah, I think 15, yeah, 15 or 16.
Yeah, because we did whatever year the mannequin challenge was really popular. And now it seems like so stupid. Like, why were we all like
But that was the big thing then. Yeah, so it was definitely a long time ago.
It was. And we, of course, we were shooting with you for a documentary for Dance Network. And it's amazing to think back now, because I've watching you then to now, it's been so incredible for me to sort of watch the evolution. And you've always been a great dancer, but I feel like you landing at The Rock was a game changer for your career. Am I right?
Yes, definitely. I'm a completely different person, not even as a dancer, just as a person in general. Going there, I moved away from home early. I just turned 17, which most people move away when they're like 17, 18. So I just grew so much, and I was doing all these other things. I had these other distractions. I was doing other TV shows, focusing on all styles of dance. And that really just put me, I feel like it showed me where I needed to be, because all my life I just been taking ballet classes, obviously, as much as I could, but I was also doing other things on the side. So that really just made me realize what I wanted to do, and that I wanted to be a ballerina.
So for people who don't know about The Rock, explain what it is, because I really think some incredible dancers come out of that school. And I just think like it gave you a grounding in your technique that just took you next level.
Yeah, so the Rock School is in Philadelphia. It's a ballet school, and they have created amazing dancers, people that are principals with ABT, Ballet West, Beck Ann Sisk trained there, Michaela DePrince, Derek Dunn, so many amazing dancers that are just known in the ballet industry. And just knowing that I'm where they used to be one day, it gives me a lot of hope, because even in the studios, there's pictures of them on the walls, and it's just so inspiring that maybe I can be like them someday. So,
well, you're on your way, aren't you? Except for this pandemic thing that kind of has gotten in everyone's way. Where were you headed before all of this pandemic kind of came crashing down on all of us?
Yeah, so I actually was auditioning for ballet companies. I was supposed to be at one the day after everything got shut down. So I'm kind of in the same situation as, high schoolers that are graduating and they aren't going to get to go back to school ever. I am not going to get that opportunity to go back to The Rock either. So I'm kind of in the same boat there. I think that people forget about us sometimes, because, I'm homeschooled, but that still was my school. It was my home. And literally in 2 days, they were like, you have to get out of the dorms. And we didn't know. We thought we were leaving for a month. So, like, I never imagined that it would be the way it is now. But at first it was definitely very stressful, because I didn't know, even before the pandemic happened, I was so stressed about this year, where I was going to go next year. I was trying to get a job, which is like last year for ballet dancers for me was like the most crucial year of training. It's when you're trying to get a job, and just that alone was so stressful. And so especially when I came home, I was like, okay, I'm never gonna get a job. Like, I have no idea what I'm gonna do. Luckily, I feel more comfortable now. I know where I'm going next year. So
Where, can you tell us where you're going?
yes, I'm going to be a trainee at Ballet West in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Oh, that's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I'm thinking about this, if I'm remembering, because I feel like we were at, I want to say Cheesecake Factory in Los Angeles. And there was, do you remember this? And your mom was like, because I feel like you had an opportunity at Ballet West. Did you at the time, and you weren't sure if you were going to go to Ballet West or The Rock? And I was like, I think you should go to The Rock.
Yeah, from YHP ballet competition. It's like one of the biggest competitions in the country.
The America Grand Prix, in case anyone doesn't know.
I got offered both schools at that competition, and it was just for the professional training division at Ballet West. And then I got also at The Rock, and I had no idea where I was going to go. Honestly, when I first got the offer at The Rock, I was like, I didn't think much of it, honestly. I didn't know I was going until like literally August, and I moved in like September 5th or something like that. So I just, I was really worried that I was gonna like close the door on Ballet West, which obviously I did not. But I just think that going to The Rock was a perfect decision that I made, because they also compete at competitions which I've grown up competing. It's a lot closer to home. They had academics there. They had it just everything worked out. They had dorms, and so I definitely think that I made the right choice. But I'm so happy to be going back to Ballet West.
Well, that's exciting too. It's great that the Ballet West door didn't close completely, that they were like doors still open and that you're able to head over there. So obviously we're kind of in this weird limbo. I mean, this is used to be my guest room. So it's now a TV studio. I mean, we're all just sort of adapting. Is Ballet West saying probably January 2021, or are you hopefully going in the fall if things change?
I'm actually supposed to be starting on August 17th.
Oh, soon.
Yeah, they're having their summer intensive actually right now. They have to wear masks and everything, and they're staying like at a hotel across the street, so they don't have to like take transportation and stuff. So they're doing it very safely. I think it's much better in Salt Lake City than it is here. So I mean, I'm hoping that I get to start. I'm really looking forward to it. So
that's exciting. Yeah, Utah has fared a little bit better even compared to the rest of the West Coast. So hopefully it continues to stay that way and people wear their masks, because I'm like, that's what you got to do. People just wear a mask. And in terms of ballet, do you think like staying with the company is probably going to be your end goal? I know for a lot of dancers, they'll do the company life for a little bit and then they start freelancing and traveling all over the world. Or you just at this point, like, I'm just focusing on the apprenticeship.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely focusing on that right now. I mean, if other things come along, that's great, but I want to be in a ballet company. I want to be a principal in a ballet company. I want to be doing these big roles, and I'm definitely going to be working for that at Ballet West. So that's definitely my main priority right now, and I'm hoping I'm really excited about Ballet West because I was worried with other ballet companies. You know, I'm very tall. I'm 5'10", 5'11", and Ballet West is actually known for having taller dancers, and a lot of companies will hire people as a trainee and then they end up not working for the company. So I was really afraid of that happening somewhere else and then them saying, oh, sorry, you're too tall. So I feel like that's definitely not a factor at Ballet West. So that makes me feel a lot more comfortable, and I'm really hoping to have a long future with them. So.
Well, you make a really good point. It's so your height, which to me makes you so gorgeous on the stage because you've just got these long limbs and long legs. And I mean, I love watching that aspect of your dancing. But oftentimes when it comes to partnering, people are like, you're just too tall. We don't have those tall dancers. I know with ABT, that was an issue. And I know that was your dream company for a long time. So I've got to imagine having Ballet West going, oh, your height is no problem, is a dream come true.
Yeah, it definitely is. It gives me some sort of like security. It makes me feel safe because I was really disappointed, obviously, when the whole thing with ABT happened. You know, I understand they need tall guys, and when I have point shoes on, I'm well over 6 feet. So you know, my height is a big issue at most ballet companies, and I wouldn't get hired there solely because of my height. But I feel really lucky to be going to a place that's not going to be a problem. And if anything, it's something that I can work on, my technique, and it's not just going to be the way I am that stops me from getting a job. So.
I know, that's the crazy thing, because I'm like, I don't know why ballet has to have this, like, you have to be this height. I mean, it should just be, if you're a gorgeous dancer, you're a gorgeous dancer. Are things different over in Europe at all when it comes to tall dancers, or do dancers have that same issue if they're very tall?
Yeah, I think it actually is a little bit better in Europe. I think a lot of dancers are taller. I know a lot of ballet companies there hire taller dancers. A lot of super famous Russian ballerinas, every European ballerina, like a lot of them are tall dancers. So that was definitely I was definitely looking that way, but I've always wanted to start in the United States. No matter what company I was with, I just think a lot of people go to companies and then they realize that's not what they want to do. So I'm really looking forward to staying in the United States. And now with Ballet West, I know my height isn't going to be a problem. So I'm really hoping to just go there and stay there.
It's a great city too, on top of it. First of all, they love the arts there.
Yes.
There's a ton of great studios if you want to train outside of ballet, if you have the time and the energy too. So I'm going to imagine you have a lot of friends in that area, just knowing everyone from do you have a lot of friends from like some of the other dance shows and competitions? And
I'm not sure. I actually know a few people. One person was my partner at The Rock last year. He's in the second company at Ballet West. And then also Chase O'Connell, who is the principal, who's married or about to be married to Beckham Skisk. He was my mom's old student, and we like grew up dancing together. We had a duet when I was like 11, and he was like towering over me. It's so funny. But he's actually there, so that makes me feel really comfortable. It just feels like the right choice, and like everything's happening at the right time. So.
All right. Well, I know a ton of people. If you need introductions, I'll like let you know. I'm like, I'll give you a list of like people you can call up if you need anything. How your mom is great. She is a dance teacher herself. Is she ready to let you go across the country?
Yeah, it's definitely a big step. I didn't realize how crazy it was because I have lived away for the last 3 years, but I was living like a 3-hour car ride away, and now it's gonna be a flight away. So I'm not gonna be able to just come home every 3-day weekend like I did before. But obviously, this is always what she's wanted me to do. She's trained me for this. She knows I'm ready, and I think that's more important to her than anything. Just seeing me live out my dreams is really important to her, no matter what I'm doing. But
she's always been so supportive too. So you've got a great mom. I will vouch for that for sure. I would love to know, I always like to ask people, like, who has been your mentors along the way? Like, who are the people that really just believed in you when you were like, oh, I'm too tall, or, oh, my technique's not where it needs to be? Who are the people that really pushed you and gave you the career that you're about to have and that you had so far?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think every teacher that I've ever trained with, even if it was one class, they've all had an impact on my dancing. Definitely my mom, obviously. She's the reason I'm dancing at all. My ballet teacher, who I've been training with since I was 5 years old, Troy Brown. He's my second dad. Like, he held me when I was just born. Like,
I have a ballet dancer.
Yeah. So he's like literally molded me into the dancer I am today. And also at The Rock, I've made great relationships with my teachers, and because they were all either past dancers or they were in ballet companies as well, it's so important to get insight from them, and they can give us so much great advice that I think is uncommon in a lot of places, because they want to push us. They want us to go to a company. Obviously, they love training us, but their goal is to get us to a company. So I've definitely made great relationships with my teachers at The Rock, and I look up to them so much, and I'm so grateful for them.
So glad you went to that program. I remember that conversation. I'm like, we were literally like eating a Cheesecake Factory, and I'm like, I think you should go to The Rock. And I think I said, I'm like, Kaeli Prince went there, and I'm like, she's so good.
Yeah. So I think even though at the time, like, I was so afraid if I was making the right decision or not, I really think that everything in the past couple of years has just happened when it's supposed to and the way it was supposed to. So I feel really lucky.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. I've been able to see like the incredible progress in your technique and in your career, just even from short little YouTube videos and Instagram. And to me, it's amazing, because I was watching you dance when you were in, like, I don't know, were you 14 or 15 when I met you?
Yeah. And I was focusing on all styles of dance. Even for my first 2 years at The Rock School, I actually went home for competition weekends to still dance in my mom's studio there in Virginia. And, but that's really the first time 3 years ago when I moved to The Rock that I was only focusing on ballet. I was only training in ballet every day. So, which is very different. I had a very different path than most ballet dancers. They know they want to be ballerinas when they're 8 years old, and that's all they do, and that's all they're going to do. I took a different route, but I think that I took the right route for me.
That's right.
Because even when I went to ABT school when I was younger, I didn't know if I wanted to be a ballet dancer. I was kind of just having fun. I wasn't so serious about it. I really don't think it was until I went to the rock school, maybe not even the first year, I don't think I realized how much I loved ballet. But definitely in the last year, 2 years, I've really realized where I want to be and what I want to be. So,
Oh, I love to hear that. I'm just so glad. It was such a good experience for you. Do you have dream choreographers you'd love to work with on your list?
um, that's a crazy question. I've actually never thought about that. I think
Ooh, let's make a list for you.
I mean, there's so many choreographers I looked up to. I think I'm just really excited to get to be in different creations, different works within a ballet company. I think that's every piece you learn is such a great experience. It's such a great opportunity because you're getting choreographers from around the world, not only in the company, but just literally around the world. So I really can't pick one. I think I'm just looking forward to the experience as a whole. So,
Do you have a dream role that you'd love to play at some point in your career?
yes.
What is it?
Yeah, Don Quixote is my favorite ballet. I want to be like literally. That's if I could be a principal in any ballet, it would be Kitri in Don Quixote. I mean, I love every ballet. There's just something special about that. I love like it's different than most ballets to me. I feel like a lot of ballets, when you think of ballerina, you think princess and everything's so soft and sweet. But Don Quixote, Kitri especially has this like sass about her. I just love it so much. So
There's a strength to her that is incredible. I went and saw Joy Womack was out here on the West Coast doing a gala for West Side Ballet, and I took like a little snippet of her doing Kitri, the Donkey pas de deux, and I put it up on Pinterest. Not even like Instagram, Facebook, or anything. It's gotten like 100,000 plus views. Like every time I go on, they're like, "You're now at," it's amazing, and people have repinned it everywhere. And but there was something about it, and it was just a dress rehearsal. I mean, she did have like her costume on, but bare stage, not fancy lighting or anything. So it's not like, but there's something so incredible about that choreography and the music and the interpretation.
I love how the role is. I just love everything about it. So.
Yeah, I totally get it. But I was like, I just think it's so funny. Every time I open Pinterest, I'm like, oh, yep, I know what my number one pin is for the last 3 years. It was actually like 2 years ago. I don't even know. I have to ask, would you ever go on another reality competition show? I mean, you did So You Think, the dance. You were on Dance Moms when you were a baby.
I was literally a baby.
You were a baby.
Yeah, I mean, I think especially right now in my career at this point, I really want to focus on being a ballet dancer, and that's my main priority right now. I'm not trying to be distracted by other things. As I said before, I even was competing with my home studio. Like that was, even though I loved it, they're my home. They're always my second home. It was a distraction from ballet.
Yeah.
In a way. So, which again, I've had a very different path than most ballet dancers. So I really am taking all the time I can, especially right now, even being at home, taking all the time I can to just work on my technique and really focus on that because I am making up for lost time. So that's really important to me right now to just focus on ballet.
During quarantine, were you able to at least train in a studio and not like in a living room like a lot of us had to?
No, I actually wasn't able to because my studio here, my mom's studio here, got closed down by the state, and we would get fined if we went in. So actually, I'm really lucky because I'm sitting on it right now. I have like a chair and my table on it right now. But we have a piece of wood that a prop dad from my mom's studio actually made for us. And then we ordered Marley, and we took a bar from the studio. So I kind of made my like little makeshift dance floor, which honestly has been great because even though it's not a dance studio, it's better than a chair on the kitchen floor. So
I know. I watch Tyler Peck all the time. Not that I'm doing her class, but I watch her, and she's like in her mom's kitchen, like just holding onto the counter. And I'm like, look at this, a principal at New York City Ballet is on linoleum.
Yeah, it's definitely, I'm very lucky just to have like the space I have right now because I don't know what I would do if I.
Yeah. But there's nothing like getting back to that studio. I'll get it. I think we all feel the same way.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I was saying to my friends the other day that I didn't expect my first time back in the studio to be at a different place. Like when I left, I didn't think it was going to be for more than a month. I thought I was going to go back and we were going to finish the year like normal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no one could have imagined that it would be the way.
No one could have predicted this.
So it's crazy to me, like, when this is over, like, I'm just completely going to a different place. It's kind of crazy.
New state. And it's a pretty state too. That's the amazing thing. There's nothing like waking up and looking out over those mountains. So you're really lucky. Well, Kaeli, it was a pleasure catching up with you. For a while there, you and your mom were out here all the time in LA. So I miss you guys a lot.
I miss you too. I'm so happy I got to do this.
I know. This was great. If anyone's not following you, where can they find you on Instagram and TikTok or wherever else?
My TikTok, if it doesn't get banned, apparently it's like getting banned.
I know. I'm not sure we're going to have TikTok much longer. So
it's Kaeli Ware. My Instagram is Kaeli Ware. And that's pretty much all I have.
You changed it. Was it like 5, 6, 7, 8?
It was. I actually tried to change it for so long. There was a person, I think I was literally like 12. It was after I was on Dance Moms and I was like first starting to get followers. Someone was like pretending to be me with that username, just Kaeli Ware. So literally since then, I've been trying to change it to Kaeli Ware and it never let me because like they got deleted or something. Mm-hmm. So I was like, and it looks more professional. I mean, just the 5, 6, 7, 8 was getting old to me. So I like how it is.
Yeah, it's funny. I know sometimes like you make handles up when you're younger and then you're a little older and you're like, I don't want like dancing queen at, gmail.com. You don't want that anymore.
Oh my God. My first Instagram name was like Swagalicious something.
Exactly. And anyone who's old enough to remember, there used to be like chat rooms with AOL. Everyone had like a crazy AOL chat name. I mean, it just like, but everything that comes up like next, whether it's like Facebook, Twitter, your new Gmail address, the one you had at like 15 is not the one you want at 20.
I saw something the other day on Instagram that's like, my biggest flex is not making my like Snapchat username something stupid when I was 10, because you can't change your username on Snapchat. So mine on there is Choreographers78. So you can add if you want to see my story.
I know. There's still Snapchat. Sometimes I forget about that. I have it on my phone. I'm not sure I really use it. So
I think I use it more than I do. Like someone asked me the other day, they're like, why do you have like 200 text messages unopened? And I'm like, I think I use Snapchat like to text my friends more often than I do.
Yeah. Whatever works, right? Anyway, follow Kaeli. So good to see you.
I'm so happy. I miss you so much.
I miss you too. I can't wait. Maybe now that you're going to be closer state, maybe I'll come visit you in Utah. Yes. I'll come watch a performance once we can get back into theater.
I know. I'm hoping they're actually selling Nutcracker tickets for Ballet West now. So hoping, actually, I think the trainees get to perform in that.
Good. So little waltz the flowers, little snow.
Yeah, I'm really hoping I get to do that. So.
Party parent. Maybe you'll be a parent already. Don't you want kids? It's like 1 year you're Clara, and then like 2 years later you're like, how'd I get to be an adult? Yeah. That's the way it goes. All right. Bye, Kaeli.
Bye. Thank you so much.
You bet.